Welcome to my little kitchen, and today we are making brandy snaps filled with a custard cream. So it's a bit of a cheats version of pastry cream. So it's custard that's been set, and then we're going to fold through some whipped cream at the end. So the first thing to do is to make your custard just according to the packet directions. So 2 tablespoons of custard powder, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 2 cups of milk. So cook that up till it's nice and thick. Give it a bit of a whisk to help it cool down, and then we're going to cover it with cling film. Make sure the cling film is touching the custard, and that stops skin from forming. We're going to pop it into the fridge for about half an hour and let that cool down. So now we're going to move on to making the brandy snaps. So I've got 55 grams of golden syrup, 50 grams of plain flour, 55 grams of brown sugar, 55 grams of unsalted butter, and half a teaspoon of ground ginger. So we're basically going to cook this in a pot, so the milk and the butter and the sugar melts, and also the golden syrup. Now we're going to cook that over a stove top till it's nice and caramel and golden, just like this. So once you've got that consistency, take it off the heat. We're going to add in our flour and our ginger, give it a nice whisk till it's creamy and caramel, and we're just going to let that sit aside for about half an hour till it forms into a nice little ball. Now traditionally, brandy snaps, you just roll them about a teaspoon worth into a little ball and pop them onto a sheet, and they form discs, and then people roll them around the end of a wooden spoon. So they're quite thin cigar shaped, filled with cream or custard. But today we are making these bigger cylinder shapes, and they're going to look quite good. So all you need to do is just to mold them into nice, fine, long strips. It doesn't matter if they're not joined properly, they'll just all melt, and you'll get a nice flat surface. Just make sure they're nicely spaced apart because they do spread quite a bit. So we're going to pop this into the oven for about 10 minutes on 180 degrees, and as you can see, they're nice, they're brown, they're spread, and the best way to handle these is just to wait about a minute just till they harden up a little bit. We're going to trim off the ends so we have a nice flat even surface, and you'll find that in the time that you've done 4 they would have started to harden quite a little. So we're going to pop them back into the oven. So as you can see, this one, I mean, it is quite pliable, but if I roll it around anymore it is going to snap. So back in the oven for about 50 to 60 seconds, and it will make it easier then to work with. So what I empty cling film roll that I've wrapped in some aluminium foil, and that's going to be easy to work with. So just roll your brandy snaps around that. You need to work quite quickly before they set. And you can make these up until a day ahead, but make sure the filling is only put inside just before you serve them, because they can get quite soggy. And these will set on this roll in literally under a minute. So just make sure as they're setting, it's leaning on the seam, and that way they will stick together. And you can fill these up with anything: custard, cream, ice cream, whatever takes your fancy. And there you have it. We have our nice little brandy snaps. So what I'm going to basically do now is I have the whipped cream. So I've got the custard here, it's nicely set. I have 1 cup of whipping cream that I'm going to whip to firm peaks, and I'm just going to fold it into the custard. So once you've done that, we're just going to pipe them into those brandy snaps, top it up with some berries. And our final touch is we're going to sprinkle some icing sugar, and that gives it a nice presentation. And I'm pretty sure whoever eats these is going to love them, and they're going to love the presentation. So I hope you enjoy them, and thank you for watching my little kitchen.